TikTok Taylor Swift Festival turns into a disaster. Let's watch this one. That's gonna be funny. Another Atosi video.
This Taylor Swift fan event quickly turned into a small Fyre Festival or DashCon-like scam, when fans ended up dropping hundreds of dollars in hopes of meeting one of Taylor's backup dancers, only to find out he had no idea the event even existed. And now, the organizers of the event, they're now claiming they're the victims after they allegedly sent over $12,000 to scammers posing as the dancer's management team. But while researching the story, I discovered it went way deeper than what I first thought, because in fandoms as big as Taylor Swift's, not only do they love the celebrity, but they also love anyone who's mildly associated with them. So,
which is scary. Like, how retarded are these people?
So, of course, when a small Orlando tiki bar announced that for $300, you could meet and have lunch with someone who knows and performs on stage with Taylor Swift, stans were very happy to pay up. That was, however, until they found out the event was definitely not going to happen and that the celebrity never even knew about the event in the first place. I mentioned her already, but Taylor Swift obviously needs no intro from me, and while she actually has nothing to do with all this, the entire story does technically revolve around her, or more specifically, her fans. Because recently, one of her fans decided to host a weekend-long Taylor-themed event at a bar outside of Orlando.
1 weekend long? Okay. By the way, the bar looks fine.
Florida. The event was set to include Taylor Swift-themed karaoke, trivia, bingo, and even a bar crawl. And the promotion and eventually the fallout of all this has been heavily covered on TikTok. Hence why the TikTok community is kind of involved here as well. Because if it wasn't for TikTok...
Of course TikTok is involved. It's always involved in stupid shit.
I would not know about this story at all. But bars hosting celebrity-themed events like this are not new by any means. It's not uncommon to see clubs have something like a Jersey Shore night hosted by Pauly D or whatever. But this event, dubbed Taylor Weekend 2025, really tried going all out to give the Swifties kind of a dream weekend. Especially when they announced that not only could they meet Cam Saunders, one of Taylor's backup dancers, but also they were allegedly giving away Sabrina Carpenter tickets, merchandise signed by Taylor Swift herself, and potentially even a video call from Taylor. Now,
yeah, this is so fake. Yeah, 100%. Yeah. Why would anyone believe that?
If you know anyone who claims they're a Swiftie, you're definitely aware of the lengths they would go in order to support her, because they would quite literally stand outside of a Target in 110-degree weather, barefoot, for 16 hours straight, if that means that they would have a shot at getting some limited edition poster. That's
because they're stupid.
Probably happened before. Don't quote me, but something along the lines of that has definitely happened. The point is, they love Taylor Swift, and while Cam isn't necessarily an A-list celebrity himself, he still has over 1 million Instagram followers and of course is associated with the Taylor Swift, which definitely does some heavy lifting in this audience here. So naturally, a small bar hosting a weekend-long event surrounding one of the world's biggest pop stars that includes a lunch with someone from her immediate circle, signed merch, a bar crawl, and a call from Taylor, fans were obviously eager to pay that. And while her fans are probably used to, you know, the insanely inflated ticket prices, these were no exception, because
let's look at it.
Used to, you know, the insane...
Oh my, there's nothing under $2,000, and it goes up to almost $9,000 for 2 tickets. And the amazing deal is $6,204, including fees. Oh Jesus, I would never pay that money.
Mainly inflated ticket prices, these were no exception, because despite it only being a fan event, even though it was a weekend-long event going from October 3rd to 5th, an all-exclusive ticket without the meet and greet for Cam was still almost $250. And then the ones with a meet and greet, well, apparently you would have to pay up to $320 for those, and that also...
Jesus Christ. Editor's note, tickets were roughly $320 after fees, and the performance was for a Taylor Swift cover artist. Okay. Our reports lead us to believe Cam was also slated to perform at some point. Who's K? Cam? Oh, the dancer.
Includes a performance from Cam, as well as a farewell lunch. I don't know, to me it sounds like a Highway ripoff, but I guess it's a dream come true for certain Swifties. Apparently it was just a dream, a nightmare for anyone else looking at this, but
Yeah.
like for the people who bought the tickets, it was just a dream. Because on Sunday, September 7th, just a month before Taylor Weekend was set to take place, Cam Saunders posted on his Instagram story saying that he'd never heard of Taylor Weekend 2025 before, and that he would definitely not be there, saying it's very unfortunate that I have to say this, but I am not associated with this event, nor have I ever been. I will not be in Orlando for it, and I'm sorry to any of you who have paid your money with such high hopes of being in the attendance. But that is not the case. As a rule of thumb, if you don't see me post something about it, assume it's a scam. So obviously, this shocked everyone.
Actually, him saying that is really good and nice. I mean, both. Number one, now people, that follow him know when he's not posting about it, it's a scam. So they always know. When they want to see him and he's not posting, it's not real. This is nice. This is really good.
Including the event hosts themselves, because they claimed in a post on their now private Instagram story that they themselves were blindsided. And here Tika Barty was stating the original contract they had in place was allegedly with Cam's old management, and that at some point there must have been a miscommunication during the transition. Furthermore, they were devastated and would be canceling the event along with issuing refunds to everyone who purchased tickets. And this prompted Cam to clap back yet again with another Instagram story setting things straight. Because here he said he's only ever had one management team, which is the one he's currently with. And yeah, I mean, his management is listed in his bio, so I honestly don't know how there's any confusion here. And that's when the backlash started, as the team behind Taylor Weekend 2025 started deleting and privating everything. Their posts, their accounts, and their website.
Of course. Of course, that's what they are doing.
TaylorWeekend.com is locked behind a password now. It's not exactly crazy to think something like this could happen, as there's plenty of examples of scam events that have overpromised and underdelivered. Fire Festival, the Willy Wonka AI
We have watched videos about both.
exhibit, DashCon,
I've seen DashCon, TennaCon? What's TennaCon?
Anacon, and so on and so on. There's so many, actually. And obviously, not to mention, this wouldn't even be the first time this happened to a Taylor Swift fan event, as I saw a lot of comments comparing it to something called the Lavender Haze Ball, a Taylor-themed fan event that was called a scam after it was canceled just days before it happened. That
Yeah, who could have guessed? Man, people are really retarded.
being said, there's plenty of updates since I actually first started looking into the story, when it first came to light. And just because that stuff does happen, doesn't mean that's exactly what happened here. Because this is one of those things where things took a turn. As the event organizers, they're now claiming they actually fell victim to scammers posing as Slash, Cam's management agency.
Uh-huh. Okay.
Supposedly, they sent them $10,000 for 2.5 hours of Cam's time, as well as a performance. And after digging a bit deeper, and now with some recent updates, I don't really think it's far-fetched to actually believe what they're saying, because right from the start, people were skeptical, asking about the signed Taylor Swift merch and how that could be authenticated. In response, Taylor Weekend actually made a Facebook post that's honestly way too long to read here, so here's the takeaway.
Okay, that's a giant post. Yes, I felt free to pause, but I won't read it. No.
Basically, they said they had no reason to doubt the products being faked because their owner is a season ticket holder at the Miami Dolphins, and he has connections to the Hard Rock Stadium, which I guess provided them with Eras Tour tickets to give away during a Swiftie-themed bingo nights the bar has held in the past. And they would also be happy to take any measures necessary to ensure authentication, as there was no chance they were willing to risk losing their reputation over something like a trivia night. But the problem is, it was allegedly this connection that hooked them up with Cam's management, as well as the video call and 50 signed photographs.
Oh boy.
And while I couldn't find any direct evidence of these tickets being given to any winners, I also couldn't find any evidence of people claiming to have been scammed by this place before. And there's definitely old posts of them promoting this stuff. And I guess to calm the minds of any Swifties watching, worried their fellow fans got scammed, don't worry. Eventbrite, the website where the tickets were sold, supposedly started initiating refunds soon after the cancellation was announced. So at least the fans got their money back.
That's good. That's good, yeah.
It also seems like the event organizer, Tiffany, has a long relationship with the Tiki Bar already, supposedly having done multiple similar pop star themed events before.
So this actually looks like it's not a scam from the organizers. I mean, not from the bar to begin with. I would never believe that they would do that, because that would totally ruin their reputation. And that's really bad if you have a bar.
And we ended up reaching out for comment from the Tiki Bar, and they also confirmed they've worked with the event organizer previously, and they've actually never had a problem in the past. They aren't throwing the organizer under the bus either, saying they believe they were scammed, and that they're fully cooperating with law enforcement to find out who exactly received their initial deposit. And
That's a lot. Like, the police is already involved? Yeah, this wow. I'm actually surprised. And actually also curious who the actual people were who pretended to be the management of that guy. This is, man, the guts that you need to have to do something like that.
the other problem is Taylor Swift is so popular that any of her simple friends could be targeted by scammers to impersonate and scam other people. Like, oh, what a nightmare. So it's not unlikely that Cam was targeted by a scammer to impersonate. And ultimately, I don't think this small tiki bar in Florida would really risk their reputation against the wrath of Taylor's fan base.
Exactly. Because we know how that ends, by the Taylor Swift fans burning down the bar. Because they are crazy.
So, what happened? Well, the Tiki Bar and Tiffany have made it very clear that they believe they were talking to Cam's management, with Tiffany even providing screenshots of an actual email exchange about the contract. I guess the red flag here is he wasn't allowed to promote it because of the strict rules with Taylor, but maybe we'll see, maybe, lol. I mean, that's just like...
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, that's a red flag. But also, who knows? No, actually, that was a red flag either way, because even if he hypothetically did it and he hypothetically said something like this would show that this would be like under the table, so it would still be a red flag. But that should be a pretty big sign of it being a scam, because if this guy hypothetically has this super long-lasting relationship with Taylor, why would he risk destroying his own livelihood for 10 grand? But again, also, I've covered people here on this channel that have done a lot dumber things for less. But either way, now that we know the organizers...
And we have seen them. We have seen the videos.
have paid a $10,000 deposit for Cam and $12,000 in vendor fees, assuming all the refunds have been processed, it's likely that they're quite in a deep hole right now. That's like 22 grand out the window. Hopefully that scammer isn't overseas so they can recoup some of that. Also, while I couldn't find the live stream itself, the cover band that was supposed to perform during the weekend, known as Lover, allegedly claimed on an Instagram live and said that they had been paid months in advance. But big asterisks here on that claim, because I didn't see the live. I've only seen someone claim that they've seen that live say that. So take that with a pinch of salt. But to me, it just seems like the organizers got scammed, because what is the real motivation here? After ruining reputations and no profits, it doesn't feel like they had any reason to set out and just try to scam. To me, it seems like they wanted to do a fun weekend and make some money and not scam people. How many tickets would they... Okay, wait. So let's say base price 200, right? So, like, you know, to break even, they would have to sell 100 tickets. What's the event capacity? I mean, could they sell more than 200 tickets to this? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Not sure what pictures Erling was looking at, but it seems to hold close to 100. Yeah. To be fair, this looks actually kind of nice. Looks completely fine to me. I would go there. Hello, Poultry God. And I guess welcome back.
They have like 7 parking spots here. I'm just worried about their capacity. Like, okay, so for them to break even, they would have to sell 100 tickets. That'd be a cram spot for 200 people. Who knows? I don't think they're scammers. I think, unfortunately, they got scammed, and then their reputation also got cooked there at the same time. Yeah. But hopefully they dig their ways out of it, because at the end of the day, allegedly they refunded everyone. So as long as they refunded everyone, that's good. But the main question I have is, how did the mix-up with the management even happen to begin with? And people have been pointing fingers at both Tiffany and the bar for social media pages going private, posts getting deleted and them sticking to their story. My guess is they want to go the legal route and try to get their money back and take down the scammer to properly clear their names, and hopefully they do, because then we'll get an update on this case for sure. But if I hear anything, I'll let you guys know. So if you're new here, feel free to subscribe. Welcome to my channel. Drop a like if you enjoyed this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.
Peace.